I'd like to welcome y'all out to the Reggie Fitness Podcast. Today I have a special guest, and this special guest has toured all around the nation, over 20 different cities in the last couple of years, and has set the internet on fire with several viral reels in the last several months. And man, this dude is just lighting everything on fire, and it's an honor to light our podcast on fire with himself. And this man's name is Corey, but he goes by Mac Work. And what's up, Corey?
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, Corey, good to have you in the building, man.
Thank you.
This is our first podcast, so you are literally the trailblazer for this one, so it's great to have you.
Well, then we're going to have to set this thing on fire then,
Yeah,
man. Let's
man.
turn the energy up, you know what I mean? Let's get it going.
Let's get it. Let's tell the people about you, man. Give them your background, because a lot of people see you on social media. They see what you do, but they don't know who you are, who the man is behind the mat work, behind the shades, behind the mic.
Man, before anything else, man, I just want to just give thanks to God, my family, you know what I mean? That's foremost. That's just the thing that drives everything that I've been doing my whole life. But me as a person, I've always just been high vibrations, good energy. But before even this whole fitness thing, I was a basketball player. A baller at heart, like ball is life, you know what I mean? So I played professional basketball 8 years overseas. France, Finland, Macedonia, Ukraine, Bulgaria. I've been a lot of places. Played at Iowa State. Was junior college player of the year in California back in like '06. So, I've done some things in the basketball realm, but while I was doing that, I was always training. Always training my body, training my mind. Didn't even realize I was training my mind. It just kind of went hand in hand. I was young. You just working out, trying to be the best version of yourself so I can perform on the court, not knowing that when I finished playing that it would be pushing me to a whole new lane of life. And now everything I do is driven through the gym. And it probably was always like that. I just didn't realize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So you went from hoping to
training.
To whining.
Yeah, to training people. I was a trainer. And now I actually haven't trained anybody now in person for about 4 years, but I'm still very active with the wine and work. It's one of the reasons why I do it. It allows me to get out, meet people, just vibe and make people laugh and smile. And I never even thought I'd be doing a wine and work or a dance class. I was just training people, getting people right. And I have an amazing online training program where, 600 to 700 people come through yearly. And, it's a real nice engine that's moving. Now, my daily is mainly, me just working out and monitoring my clients. But outside of that, like, I look forward to wine and work. I look forward to getting on the road. So that's why I put those in motion so I can come to places like yours and, just people that have good business and good individuals so I can link with them and their people can meet me. I can bring some new folks to them and hopefully I can bring some new insight to what life should be about, as far as just giving bomb energy and happiness and understanding that it's okay. It's really just okay.
Yeah. So it's a dope platform, man. I love it how just you've taken it and distinguished yourself from any other fitness influencer, entrepreneur, or just fitness expert in the industry. Now, let me ask you this. Now, you said, basically you have the online training. And then you have, of course, MacWork that helps to promote that. So how did you kind of come up with that strategy?
Some strategies you're just doing and you don't even realize that you're doing them until you're doing them. Or when it's time to kind of switch things up and you're like, wait a minute, the reason why this is moving is because of this. Now I can teach it. I can say, hey, the reason why, it's good for me to push wine and work, although my main engine of business is coming through my online training, is because I understand people just want to be happy. They want to have good feelings. They want to see vibrations on your page and your social medias. So wine and work gives you that. That's going to bring you in. And then if you stay long enough and you like it there, you're obviously going to see some of the work that's in between, which will lead you to programs and nutrition and coaching with me and my business in general. So that's the beauty of doing things that you don't realize, when you're doing them, you're like, man, that's, now that I know, now I can say why I know. But in the beginning, I was just going with the flow. Even wine and work wasn't even part of the plan. I had no clue I was going to do wine and work. Literally had no clue. My business was booming at a high level back in 21. And that's when I decided, you know what? I need to put more effort into content. I don't feel like I put that much effort into content a couple years ago. So I take my cousin, he's a videographer. I said, man, let's start working on some stuff. He's like, all right, cool. So we're just shooting a bunch of workout videos, pretty much just like every other trainer, doing, crazy workouts, whatever, nothing special, at least not to me. In my mind, I always want to separate myself, and not separate myself in a way of I'm better, just separate myself so I can feel like I'm advancing. You know what I mean? In my own lane, in my own way. Because I already know if I'm doing what everybody else is doing, it just becomes a rat race.
Yeah.
I'm doing some workouts and I'm doing these pull-ups and stuff, and I came off and I did a little whine. It was quick too. I'm talking about a 3-second video. It wasn't even nothing. And the internet kind of liked it. And I was like, well, you know what? Why don't I start doing some dancing mixed with some workouts? I'm doing that for a few months. Things started to blow up. I'm like, okay, well, I'm Caribbean, so we're going to take it there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So then we start whining, and then, of course, you get a lot of negative comments from people who don't really understand the culture and stuff. But my mind has always been strong. We're going to stick with whatever we decide to do. Nobody can change that. I've always been like that. If I say I'm going to do something, we're going to see it through. And then when I'm ready, or if I have people I trust in my corner that tell me, hey, man, you should try this. No. Okay, cool. I'll listen. Started whining and stuff. And even that, there was still no intentions of running any kind of class. It was all just for content, bring people in, let them see your vibration, let them see who you are. And then from there, you'll be able to, still promote your business. And hopefully you can redirect traffic. Well, I was supposed to go to an event in September of 2021. I had booked my flights, I had booked my Airbnbs, and I was supposed to show up. And a month before, they canceled the event. When they canceled the event, I was like, man, what do I do? Oh, I mean, I can always cancel. But I'm like, I already spent some money. I already invested in this. You know what? I'm not a follower. Like I just explained, I like to do my own thing. So the first thing I thought was, what have I been doing? It came quick, too. It didn't take long. I was like, well, I've been whining. I've been dancing. Well, my name is Mac Work. No, let's whine and work then. That was it. And we decided to run a camp in Dallas, the first one. It got about 40 people, which was cool. And one thing I've learned is that going viral helps.
Yeah.
It just does. Because for me to even have 40 people on the first one in a city that I don't live, I live in California. So me to go to Dallas and run a class and get that many people, I was like, okay, cool. All right, well, they like it. Let's try it somewhere else. And I started looking at all the comments. Come to D.C., come here. So we tried D.C. The next camp was 140. I was like, I had to break it up into 2 classes because the building wasn't big enough. So I ended up running 2 classes in D.C. and split it up. And then we just started rolling from there. Every month, I've probably done now, say about 45 different wine and works here in the last year and a half.
Congratulations, bro. That's big.
Thank you, brother.
That's
And they're all on the road. I've only ran like 2 in the LA area, considering I live there.
Yeah.
So I like to go other places.
So let's talk about touring. So a lot of people, I know a lot of people are probably see what you do, and they're interested in maybe starting their own tour. What have been like the pros and cons of touring?
You have to understand your lane, your pocket. You're gonna get out there and you're gonna spend unforeseen funds. You need to make sure that you have some funds, just because you just never know. Whether it be simple things from food to Ubers, stuff like that. I would say the first part of it is going to be hard depending on who you are and who you know. If you don't know anyone, it's tough. I didn't know anyone. So, of course, I'm going to be going to places. I'm not sure what the buildings are looking like. I don't know any of the owners or anything yet. So, of course, they're going to tax me. Boom. We don't know you. We don't know your class. Why should we let you in here? That type of thing. And I've been treated well, so I don't have a problem with that. But I do understand that it could have been a bigger problem. I just came in with the mindset of, this is what I'm going to have to deal with. I go into some venues. The venues weren't what I expected it to be. So now we put more time into researching those type of things, making sure that the venue is a certain type of way. And from there it's, hey, we got to find a DJ. We got to find video guys if I don't bring my guy with me. And all those things come with resources. I would just ask the internet sometimes. Hey, I need a DJ in Washington, D.C. Hey, I need this, or ask a friend. And, I would say the main struggle is just getting started. Because you can go into a city, and the reality is every time I go to a city, I'm betting on myself. That's me saying, I want to come here to Reggie Fitness in or a Queens compound in Houston, Texas, I can't decide last minute if I'm going to do that. I have to decide that a couple months ago or a month ago, however long you want to promote. That means I need to put the money out up front and then hope it comes back. So every time I run a class, I consider that me betting on myself. If we're just talking just to try to, recoup.
Yeah. Would you, if somebody, for those that are watching this, would you say that touring is more for the profit or more so it has a certain purpose behind it?
It's all about the purpose. It's all about the purpose. I mean, touring, to me, I would only advise it if you have passion and you have a purpose behind what you're doing. You need to make sure that what you're doing is for something bigger than funds, because unless you have an in with some certain businesses that are going to just pay you well enough, or your name is big enough, or if you've grown it big enough to just tour and this is just crazy money, great, cool. But for me personally, I make money off of mine, which is great, but that's not my time, the energy I spend. To me, that's not what I do it for. I wouldn't, if that's what I did it for the ends, I wouldn't do it at all. I'd rather just stay home, collect my money, I can just relax, and I don't have to, put the pressure on my body. But the reason why I do it is because of all the people. I'm not gonna lie, I like the people. Last night we had a class here, and it was just,
it's fire.
I woke up this morning and I put my feet off the bed, and the first things I said out my mouth, I actually verbalized. I didn't say it in my head. I said it out loud with nobody around me. I said, I love my life.
Yeah.
And I love my life because of the way the people made me feel last night. They said that I made them feel good, but they made me feel good. From before the class even started, they were dancing because they knew what they came for. Everybody was telling me how great of a class it was. And people that came to the class before had come back and said, man, it got even better. And I was like, yeah, so, just hearing those things, the affirmations, that's what you want.
Yeah.
And that's the purpose. The purpose is to make people feel good. And then other things come from that, guest speaking, podcasts.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Things start to just show up, and things start to become like a tumbleweed and just grow. And that's why I say just have a purpose. Your purpose and your passion will lead to the funds that you're looking for. But without either one of those, you can get the funds, but how can you sustain it?
Yeah, that's right. I appreciate you being transparent with that answer, because I think a lot of people see when fitness influencers and entrepreneurs are touring and it seems glamorous, but there's always two sides to the story. A lot of people don't tell those sides to the story, and that's why I want us to be transparent.
Absolutely.
So the people who may follow in your footsteps, will know, hey, Mac said this is how it is, and to be prepared for the glow, but also you got to grow to get to the glow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. I know you said backtrack to your online, and I know we kind of talked about it, but when did you know you were like, okay, this online thing is working?
Oh, online thing, that's another thing. I always tell people, just do stuff. And it sounds so simple. What do you mean just do stuff? You need a plan. You need to have this. And I'm like, yeah, you got to have some kind of plan for certain things. But your energy needs to be an energy of, I got to get stuff done. I got to do this. You didn't sleep last night. You know what I mean? My man's over here didn't sleep because you was doing stuff, right? And something that you may do on one night might be the reason why something happens a different day. So the online program at the time, I was just going through a split up in my life, and I just got a new place, and my friend actually gave me the down payment for the place. And, I had money, but a lot of the money was going towards bills and stuff. And I was like, hey, I'll pay you back next month and stuff. And I did. We squared away and whatnot. But I was actually sitting in a small apartment with no furniture, really. I had a TV up, and I didn't have a dining table. I had a little couch, and that was it. I had a little blanket in the bedroom. I didn't have a bed yet. I got one like a couple months later and whatnot. And I could have, but that wasn't my focus. My focus was not on that. I was just like, I need to do something. I need to sit here and get my butt whooped just for a little bit. Just be uncomfortable, because I've never, I'm used to being comfortable because I put myself in comfortable positions. That was the first time in my life where I took a step back and said, I'm going to do something weird right now. This is weird. What do you mean you don't have a bed in there right now? You can go buy one today. I was like, not worry about that. Let's focus on something. I want to try this. I want to build an online platform for myself, and I wanted to grow. All right. And don't get me wrong. Once I got that bed in there, that sleep was much better, and I got that bed in that sleep was much better,
Yeah.
and everything started to go. But 8 months into building this online platform, I actually didn't have to train in person no more again. It took me 8 months, and I didn't even realize what was happening until like month 4. I was like, wait a minute, hold on, the way this is moving, I might not, you know what, let me not get too far ahead of myself. Let me push this a little bit more. And even still, I still wasn't sure even at the 8-month mark. I just knew the direction I wanted to go, and I wanted to stay on that path.
Yeah.
And here we are today. Now it's been 4 years.
And so what would you said now that you've been doing it 4 years for the online.
Mm-hmm. I'm saying it's been 4 years, and yeah, almost about 4 years since I haven't trained anymore.
Yeah, because what's unique, you said you don't train in person. Mm-mm. You don't have a brick and mortar. Nope. So everything for you is virtual.
Everything's virtual.
So what advice would you give to somebody who wanted to go to your route? Because of course you're sitting like my route. I have the brick and mortar. I do mainly in-person services. We have the distribution of the online platform, but our main bread and butter is the in-person and the brick and mortar, which the average person thinks, oh, that's the way I have to go in order to be a successful fitness trainer, fitness business owner. But how are you maintaining your livelihood by doing what you do with the online?
Create a culture. You have to create a culture. So everybody has an Instagram page or social media of some sort. When you come to a page and you look at it, what's the culture there? My culture is bomb results. You're going to see some of the best transformations on my page. Mm-hmm. And I continue to keep those transformations up on my page every few posts because you're not going to forget what I do.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes to my page and they see that, they see someone who looks just like them, same color of skin, whatever it is, they see the same body type, and they say, I can do that.
Yeah.
So when they sign up, they have an expectation to get that done. Otherwise, who doesn't want to be successful in a culture or a program where everybody else is doing it? Mm. So if you can create that culture for yourself or whatever your business is, you create a culture that this is law. That what leads the way.
Yeah.
That leads the way because now I can push business and I can push it and I can push it, and we also have the results and we have the testimonials from people that are able to speak about it and speak their mind about. I mean, I can't tell them what to say about me. They're going to say what they want to say. I say, hey, can you say a few things? And they decide to talk for 30 seconds or 3 minutes, maybe 5 sometimes. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize I helped you change your life that much. But as the time started going, I started realizing my own culture I was building. And I'm saying, oh, you know what? I know what's going on here. I know what's going to happen for you if you come in here.
Yeah.
So those are things that you just got to believe in, And if you're not sure, just keep working, like I said, until you figure it out because it's going to snap. I've done things over and over and over and not realize why I was doing it. And then it hit me one day saying, man, this is why I do this. And now I get it to why this over here is still working because of this right here. So
yeah,
that's it.
So what would be 3 tips you would give to any aspiring or ambitious person who wants to become a successful fitness entrepreneur like you?
Work on your body consistently. A lot of people, I feel, have the skills mentally and stuff. And I think it's much needed, obviously. Mm-hmm. But be a product. Be a product of what it is you're selling. And because it's going to make your mind even stronger. If you're already smart and you already know the tool, you already have all the tools, apply it. Apply it. Some people are visual. They want to see it. So that's the first thing. The second thing would be, I would say just be patient. Patience is a big thing. Everybody wants the golden ticket without putting in the work. I've been in the game like 11 years now and whatnot. You've been in the game a long time. So you can't skip steps. Anytime you skip steps, don't get me wrong, if you can skip some steps, great. I want you to. I want to help you skip steps. But just understand there's always something that you're going to have to learn, and some things we're just going to have to learn the hard way, whether we want to or not. We might skip a few things, but some things are going to be like, nope, you didn't know about this. Now you know. Now let's not do it again. Mm-hmm. So just be patient and understand that we all have our time. And right now, especially when it comes to looking at other people too, I never focus on other people.
True.
I just really don't. And it's not any kind of, bash on what anybody else is doing. I just don't have the time, the mental capacity to put myself where they're at, because all that's going to do is make me have some kind of like thoughts that I'm not trying to think or anything. Most of the time, I'm just focused on what I'm doing, because if I spend more time focusing on what I'm doing, I can get farther ahead a little faster, right?
Yeah.
And you said 3 tips, right?
Yep. That's the last one.
Now, was that the last one?
Well, patience. So you said patience, get your body right, the physique.
Mm-hmm.
What was your third one?
Yeah, I have one more. You know what? Just do whatever you're. Well, did I say passion? Because I don't know if I said
No,
passion.
you said passion. That's the best.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
definitely.
just gotta have a passion. You gotta have passion. You gotta love what you're doing. If you don't love it, and if you're not sure if you don't love it or not, work a little harder. It'll tell you. It'll tell you. The harder you go, it will tell you if you like it and if you love it. And those 2 things. Once you love something, it'll be easy, and everything will come.
Yeah.
Everything will come. Also, like I said, let's go back to number 2. Don't compare yourself. Focus on yourself. Stay in your lane, and also trust the process. So
True.
that's what I got for you.
So what's next? What's next for Matt? What's next for Corey? What's
I don't know. I'm still trying to process this wine and work and everything that I'm doing. The good thing is I have free time, and I have free time to build. So I just want to build the correct way now. I've already had a lot of my bumps and bruises over the years. Now it's about just partnering with people that are doing amazing things, who wanna grow, but they also want to grow organically. They're not looking to skip steps. People who understand my mission. I understand their vision, their journey, and where they're trying to go. And if we can make something happen, that's the best way to go. As far as my online programs and what I'm doing with that, or what I would like to do, I think it's time to start moving into corporations, honestly. Time to start getting that into corporations, big businesses. That'll just, hey, we have 500 employees. How can we work? So I think that's the next step with that, because I'm only one man, right?
Yeah.
From there, it's, hey, we're going to have to hire some folks and work that direction. So that's one goal. Other than that, man, I'm just riding the wave. I got to Wine and Work by riding the wave.
Yeah.
I don't know how long Wine and Work will be around. Maybe it'll grow and turn to something crazy. Who knows? It might fizzle out and I'll be on to something new. But never, I don't stay in a box. We're not going to stay in a box. We're going to continue to just be open, free. And the good thing is I've developed enough of a business model that'll allow me the freedom to do the things that I need to do when the time comes.
Man, that's dope. That's dope. All right, man. Before we end it, man, tell the people where they can find you at.
You guys can find me on Instagram. That's MACW3RK. So that 3, you guys will see W3RK, not E, but the 3 stands for the 3 letters MAC, make a change. So it's 3 letters, 3 words. Make a change, Mac work. The 3 is for the 3 letters and 3 words.
And that's dope. I would have never known it, but that's what we sitting down. That's why we got these interviews, man.
Yeah,
I love
man.
it.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Hey, man, Corey, thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate your time. We've already manifested a couple things we hopefully can put into play here in the soon. I look forward to connecting, collaborating, and just changing as many lives as we can together.
Absolutely.
And I just want to thank you for your time, Corey, man. Thank you,
brother.
man.
Thank you, brother.
And we out.
You've witnessed Reggie C. Fitness.